Our favorite life coach, Laya Raznick, is here, and we're here to talk about 9/11 and what that means when this time of year comes up every year. I think most of us remember where we were when we heard the news or were watching live on television, of dealing with that on a yearly basis,
right,
or through the year.
There's a bit of a post-traumatic stress, right? We repeat the memory of that impact, that shock each year, and the depth of sadness and the depth of disappointment and the depth of fear that it brings up.
And so because that happens, and I think it maybe manifests itself in different ways for different people, because especially here, there are a lot of people who are from the East Coast,
right,
or from Washington, D.C., or from Pennsylvania, and it might mean something different to them.
Yeah, that's right. And so everybody, you know, everyone is dealing with something. Whether it's they were there and they're having that memory, whether they know people that were affected. We all had a moment of complete emotional shocking. Mm-hmm. I remember being with my young daughter and just being so afraid and so hurt that this could be happening in our world. And so we all need to take a minute and today, and really acknowledge that, really give ourselves a little bit of time to recognize this is a day of national and international pain.
Is it possible, we were talking about having a good day today? Because, you know, we always say a somber day, and yes it is,
yeah,
but we also would like to enjoy the day. Is
right,
that possible for people that have been affected?
Well, here's the thing, you know, this is about, in some ways, this is all about love. Right? If we lost people, it's about love. If we're honoring the firefighters and the emergency support, it's about love. It's about our own loss, and loss is about love. So we can spend some time thinking about the blessings that we have, reaching out for support with our people that are here or our people that we went through this with, right? There are ways. You know, in all pain, there's a deepening of the heart. And so there are ways to celebrate that. But we need to take the time, today particularly, and really give yourself a little bit of attention, give yourself a little bit of nurture. Recognize this is not a normal day, and it never will be.
For those who are maybe celebrating their birthday or a wedding anniversary or something that would naturally bring joy, that can't be discounted, you know. But you mentioned something that I thought was important about humanity, and probably in a bizarre way, that's a real positive.
Right.
Because it brings us back to humanity.
Right. It brings us back to what we share together. And like you were saying a little earlier, there's a unity in tragedy, right? There's so much to celebrate about what happened from this tragic event. Really, you know, our news stories and the stories that we tell each other can include those too. The beauty of it, the depth of it. The way that we came together.
Brings people together. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to get there, though.
Yes, it's hard to get there. So seek those stories out, and maybe even as the news, you know, we can do that together. We can really look for that in the world and also spread that ourselves. If we have a story that we remember of some heroic event or something that touched us deeply, tell it. Share it with people.
I think of, you know, so many of the firefighters that were lost on that day and their families today.
It's such a hard day. It's a very, very hard day. So like with all loss, you know, when we remember people, we feel the pain and we don't want to ignore that, but we also feel the love and the beauty, and to remember to celebrate them together.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, and also maybe to share your feelings of love with somebody.
Yes.
You know, to let them know how much they mean to you.
Right.
Today's a good day to do that.
Right, whether they were involved or not, reach out to your beloveds and count your blessings together.
Yeah, and I would suspect too that a lot of people who have gone through that, and it was personal, very personal for them, sometimes people want to do that in their own way and don't want to be surrounded by people as well.
That's true. That's true, and that's about giving yourself permission to do this day in whatever way that you need to do it. And that means, you know, Break away from the daily responsibilities. Let yourself have this day. This is not only a deep wound for the individual, but this is a deep wound in our world. And we can feel it. Everyone can feel it today.
And it is good to remember it and to take, again, the part of humanity that I think is probably the biggest lesson of all in all of this.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Leah, as always, thank
Wonderful.
You're welcome.
Thank
Yeah,
you for actually
appreciate it.
helping us see the bright spot in such a tragic day.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all of us.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
We will take a break, and coming back, we will be observing a moment of silence as the nation will be doing, and we will be going live to Palm Springs, but we'll take a break first. And welcome back. Laya Raznick is with us, our life coach. And
Thankfully.
we are so glad that you're with us today.
Thank
Yes.
A calming influence.
It's a beautiful day to be here and be
Yeah.
with you.
And
Yeah.
it is a day that many need support because it's 9/11. We're remembering the victims and a lot of people experiencing a lot of pain and grief today. So even just having you here is of help for us.
Yeah, and it, you know, I really go back to the families of those firefighters or those who were working in the tower that day, and the families that lost loved ones. You know, and because it was such a huge and still is a momentous time in our history, that it will always be remembered throughout time, and it will always come back then to those people who lost someone. So those are the people that I think about, and
And
you
for
know,
those
send them
people, you
love.
know, right, and sending them love, and to feel that, if you lost someone directly, to feel that the world is sending you compassion today, to really feel out into the world past your own environment, and recognize that everyone is feeling it.
Yeah.
Everyone is sending love to those people, like you are.
Well, it just, I think it's important, you know.
Yeah.
They're the ones who probably need our support a little bit more.
Right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Leah.
You're welcome.
We are just a couple of minutes away from the top of the hour. This is a live look at the Pentagon right now.
All morning we've been taking a look at all the different remembrances and ceremonies across the country, particularly in the places that the planes went down.
Sure, and this was, I think, at 9:03 that it happened in Washington at the Pentagon. And then, of course, we will remember the folks from Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
And also, of course, Ground Zero, where they're doing the name reading ceremony right now, which goes on for quite some time. There it is, Ground Zero right there, reading the names of those who passed.
All right, we will take a break, and we will be back.
James Patrick Berger.